To today, we're reconnecting on the way, sharing stories, dreams, and paths, discovering the impact that lasts, the impact that lasts, the impact that lasts, the stories unfold.
So today, my heart is so warm. More than 40 years ago, I sat in this remarkable young lady's classroom as a junior in high school slash LPN student. And then I went back to the high school where I became her employee. And then maybe about 14 years ago, when I co-partnered in opening a nursing school, she came to teach at that school, and then I became her supervisor. So we have fully ran the gamut from student to employee to supervisor. So over the last 4 decades, we have stayed in contact through nursing, through education, through service. And it is my honor to welcome my teacher, my mentor, my colleague, my friend, Mrs. Lynn Dunworth. Welcome.
Thank you.
So
Thank
excited.
you very much.
So, Ms. Dunworth, how many years in total have you been a nurse now?
63.
63.
And yes, and I still get together monthly, or we try to do it monthly, with about 4 or 5 other students, women my age, and we go to lunch and gab and talk about what's happening.
Very nice.
It's nice,
Very
yes.
nice. So I remember when I left the school in 2003 as a teacher, and you were retiring, right? So here we are 23 years later, and you're still teaching. What gives you the desire to continue to teach at this age? Because I know it's more that you want to and not that you have to.
Right. No, I don't have to. I want to. I truly love it. I really think that that's why I still do it. I love to see I think I have something to share with the students, and then I love to see them succeed.
So what inspired you to become a nurse, and how old were you? Do you remember when you first had the desire? I was 5 when I first thought I was going to be a nurse. How old were you? Do you remember?
No, I was probably last year of high school. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I met a woman on the bus, and she talked about nursing, and so I got a job as a nurse's aide at Kew Gardens Hospital, which doesn't even exist anymore. And I liked it, and I decided. So I really, after high school, I worked for a year, and then I went to nursing school.
So your entry into nursing was as an aide. Did you ever become an LPN, or you went from an aide straight to an RN?
Well, no, I went right into RN school. I went to the Brooklyn Hospital on DeKalb Avenue, which the school doesn't exist anymore. No, but at the school, after 1 year, you were able to take the LPN test. And I did, because I was nervous about taking the RN exam. I thought it would be good practice. So I really technically have an LPN license, which I really don't renew, but I do have it if you go way back. And it was really just to prepare for the RN license, the NCLEX.
What made you divert from maybe hospital nurse to nurse educator?
Again, I had about 20 years or so of working in different kinds of positions as a nurse. And I liked it. And sometimes we would get a new faculty, a new person to working, and I enjoyed showing them, telling them some of the things regarding where we were working. And I said, I think I should do this a little bit more formally. And that's how I really began.
Other than education, because I know you absolutely love nursing education, what other area of nursing would you say was one of your favorite areas of nursing?
My favorite was, and always will be, really the emergency room.
Oh,
I like that. That was my favorite.
and
I'm
I
a little
think
bit
you
too
worked in
old
a
now for
prison.
that, but that was my favorite.
You worked in a prison too, right? One time?
I did work, yes, at the prison system for a very short time. Yes, I did.
Okay, I remember you told me that.
Yes.
So I'm trying to take you way back to 41 years ago. Do you remember me as a student, or you don't remember that far back?
Well, I guess I remember back. I can't say that I remember individual people. You were a good student. You were no trouble. So, I mean, that's a good thing.
I'm
That's a
happy
very
about
good
that.
thing. And then you were going on to different areas, and you would write to me for a letter of reference. And that's how I really began remembering your abilities.
Okay. So I
You were always
remember
ambitious. Yes, you were always ambitious, always moving,
always moving.
on the
So
move. Yes, on the
10
move.
years after I graduated, I walked into your office just to visit. I really had no intentions or looking for a job. I just said, I'm out of high school 10 years now. I'm a nurse. Let me go back and see how the program is doing. How's Miss Dunworth doing? And I remember when I walked into the office and we talked a little bit, you said, Rhonda, what are you doing? I need a nursing teacher in September. And I said, a nursing teacher, like that was like the furthest thing away from my mind. And then I decided I was going to do it. And then I started working in September and worked under your tutelage for like 6 years. Do you remember what those 6 years were like when I was working as a nurse educator
Yes,
at the
yes.
school?
I do. I remember it clearly, and I remember that you were I still say you were gifted. Some people will really work, including myself. I mean, I work hard at bringing the information to the students, and I think I do a good job. However, you had a gift, and that's what really stands out. I mean, whether you were teaching this med surge or that subject, you had a gift, and still do, and still do.
Oh,
It's a
thank you for
blessing.
that.
Yes,
That's very rewarding hearing it coming from you with all of your knowledge
yes.
and experience. So then after that, I started, the Ready to Pass, doing the NCLEX review. And then fast forward, maybe, I don't know, 10, 12 years later, we decide we're opening up a nursing school. So at the time, it was myself, Miss Gordon, and our other business partner, and we had to start looking for teachers. So in my mind, I said there's only one person that I could ever imagine teaching fundamentals of nursing, and I'm going to find her. Do you remember the day that I called you to ask you if you would come teach at the school?
So I can't say what particular day it was, but I do remember. And I said, well, you know, I'll help you out. I thought I was teaching one subject just to help you out. And, then I'd go on my way, you'd go on your way. So I've been there about 10 or so years.
12, because you started in
Yeah,
14, I left in 19, and here we
a
are,
long time.
2026, and you're still there,
Yes, I am.
still
Yes, I
there.
am.
So I don't know. Did you ever imagine I would be a nurse, an educator, your supervisor? How did that feel when the roles flipped and then instead of you being my supervisor, I was your supervisor? Did you feel any way about that? Was it weird? Was it strange?
I think it's strange. However, I think it's wonderful. Um, we come from different places. We can reverse roles, still to do the best that we are able to do. I mean, I think it's quite an accomplishment. I mean, I feel proud of it. I don't feel, oh, now she's my boss or anything like that. I think it's terrific. I think it's terrific that you would want me. I think it's wonderful that we have this role reversal and um, again that we're both doing our very best.
You know what would be so funny, because some of
Yes.
the students knew that you were my teacher a very long time ago, but some of them didn't know. So of course they would come into my office to complain that you locked them out when they came in late or whatever it was you were doing. And it would be so hysterical to me because I'm like, get out of my office, you'll be all right.
Yes, yes, yes.
So what do you think is your greatest joy as an educator?
I think imparting my watching them succeed and imparting some of my, oh, I say passion to them. I feel that in nursing, I said you just can't love something. You have to love something. There's a difference. When you study, you can't just study. I mean, you have to really focus and apply yourself. There's a passion that has to be there,
What do
especially with nursing. Yes,
Sorry to cut you. I was just
that's
thinking
okay.
when you said the passion, because I don't think some students nowadays are going into nursing because of the passion. over all these years, you told me you've been a nurse for 63 years and you've been an educator for a very long time, because when you educated me 41 years ago, you were already an educator. What do you think has changed the most in nursing students over all these years, whether good or whether bad, or one of, or both?
Right. I think society has changed. I think that people do need nurturing. I think we need love. I think we've developed a certain coldness with some of this new wonderful technology. Everything is on a machine. There's really no emotion to the machine. Um, one of the thoughts that we have is that, what about the patients? Well, the patients really remain the same in the fact that they need us, and we need to bring to them what it is that they need. So I think that's really what the students need. They need to have a commitment. This is not a wishy-wash job. This is a profession from the moment, I want to say almost of conception, from the moment of birth. We're there with them, or could, depending upon where you choose to work, we're there with them at the moment of birth. And again, depending upon where you work, we're there when they leave this world. There is no other profession, no other job, not that we're a job, but there's no other thing on earth that you go from life, the beginning of life, your very first breath, to your very last breath. And we're needed in so many different areas.
True.
And I'm very blessed, and I like to share some of the blessings with others. I mean, I think I'm a happy, joyful person. I have a sense of gratitude. I think I'm pretty good for 85. My mind is sharp, a little bit slower than what I was 20 years ago, but I'm good. I'm blessed. I really am.
You are very good. And one of the things that I can honestly say that I learned from you that stayed with me for my nursing career is the professionalism. Even when I was a new RN, BSN, I would always keep my hair up when I was at work. I wouldn't wear big earrings to work,
Right.
because don't even talk about the time. Like, definitely I'm a stickler for time, just like you are. And I think some of those qualities have been missing lately with the newer students. I don't think they're really hard enough on them in terms of professionalism, in terms of, what they wear and what they do and how they present themselves. I remember when we were new nurses, if you had a tattoo on your arm, you had to cover it up. Now you can come to work with a whole sleeve on your arm as a nurse. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that we were not allowed to do that. So things are definitely changing.
Things have changed. You talk to the tattoos today are not only on your arm, it's on your neck. There are tattoos that you can have now that are, I want to say, permanent. It's like almost like a stud earring that's on your face wherever. No, I don't think that that's good to go into the patients like that. Um, but I also worry about the student themselves. This is dangerous. It's not healthy. Um, so I
Was a
worry
story
about them
not long
too.
ago about a young lady who allegedly her eyelash fell out during surgery, fell into the patient's wound. I don't know what happened to it after, but sometimes I wonder. I see the long hair flying all over the place, and
Right.
for us, we used to say it wasn't sanitary, but now anything goes, and I don't know how you're all over the bed and your
Yes,
hair is
yes,
falling all into the patient's wound and everything else. So we have some challenges that we have to face in nursing.
yes.
So some things I wish we could get back to. Um, yeah. So, what is one of your biggest challenges now?
My
Um,
biggest challenge, my very biggest challenge is technology.
yeah.
It's moving very fast. I mean, everything is becoming technology. And I'm not good at it. And I try. I suppose I should try harder. Um, but I find it difficult. I mean, I think it has some wonderful implications, wonderful values, but it's really not for me. I like talking to people. I like sharing to people. I like sharing emotions. I don't like the coldness, but I'm finding it that it's very difficult. So, I have to say at the, where I'm working now, the people are very, kind to me, and they do give me help. I'm not used to taking all that kind of help, but I need it.
Yeah,
But that is my biggest challenge.
technology.
Yes, technology.
I could understand that. So a lot of times, especially now that I've been doing this series, The Impact, and I'm going back to the students from Hillcrest High School LPN program, there's some students that I taught and you taught as well. And they have been asking me, how is Miss Dunworth doing? How is Miss Dunworth doing? And I said, Miss Dunworth is doing very well, and she is still teaching. What would you want to say to them if they were to see this video? Because many of them will.
I think that if you want to be a nurse, a young nurse, I think you have to listen, and then you have to think. Can't expect the machine to do the thinking for you. You need to do some thinking. You need to follow directions. You have to have this passion. You have to have a commitment. You have to have a love for the profession, a love for what you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, you need to get out of it.
That's wisdom.
Yeah.
So certainly you have impacted many, 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 many students, including myself. But what would you say when you pass on or move on or pass away or whatever? What would you want your legacy to be? What would you want people to remember about you other than you were a great nursing educator?
Yeah. I think that I was a good nurse, that I made a commitment um, to the profession, to helping other people. Um, Aside from nursing, obviously, I want them to feel that I mean, I had a commitment to my family also, and to my country. But I think there are things in life, there are areas in life that one needs to make a commitment to. I have to my husband, my family, my profession. And again, I try to be a good citizen to my country. So I think that's really where my commitments are,
Okay.
and that I tried to do the best I could within each one of them.
So do you have any plans for another retirement? Because I know you retired before, or do you think that you just want to keep teaching until you can't teach
No,
anymore?
I think this year I will be 85. I think I'd like, my goal is to really at least make 85.
Okay. It's fair. So I'm sure you probably heard it before, but they say give people their flowers when they could smell them, right? So on behalf of myself and all of those nursing students that you and I taught at Hillcrest High School, we just want to thank you for all the information and the knowledge and the professionalism that you have given us and shown us and taught us, and all of your effort has not been in vain, because you certainly gave more than you had to. And that's what I always try to do when I teach also, right? Because when you go home and you have to check papers and you have to grade papers and you have to prepare for the next day. So it's like when you're an educator, it really doesn't end at the end of the day, because you
No,
have to still go home and prepare for the next day if you want to be a good educator. So I think my final question is going to be, what advice would you give to a brand new educator that's maybe leaving the classroom and coming to teach nursing for the first time? What advice would you give a new educator?
right. I think she or he, um, again, they have to make a commitment. They have to have a love for the profession of nursing. They've got to share that with the students that are in front of them. They have to listen. You must listen to your students. You need to listen to your patients. You need to listen. You need to have a little bit of heart, a little bit of love, probably a lot, maybe not a little, a lot, a lot.
A lot of love.
Yes,
A lot of love and a lot of listening.
yes.
Okay. So is there anything else you want to share before we end this segment?
No, I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of my students who have gone on and are working. When they do all the things that they are supposed to be doing, it makes me very proud and very happy. And I do wish them love and I wish them success. Again, if there's any way that I can help anybody, I'm available.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. You have certainly
Thank
contributed
you.
a
I
lot
think this
to
is
the
a wonderful,
profession.
yeah, I think this is a wonderful project. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was very excited about doing it, and especially to bring
Thank
you
you.
into the loop. It was very
Be well.
exciting. Okay, thank you
We'll
so
connect
much.
again. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye now.
bye-bye. Thank you. So thank you so much to Mrs. Dunworth. That was so enlightening. Before I was a teacher, I was a student. Before I became a mentor, someone mentored me. And this season has reminded me that the impact we have on others often reaches farther than we will ever know. The impact that lasts began with a simple question: what happened to my former students? Along the way, I was reminded that every student's story begins with someone who believed in them. For me, that person was Mrs. Lynn Dunworth. Thank you for helping me to become the nurse, the educator, and the person that I am today. Thank you for watching The Impact That Lasts, Season 1.
We're reconnecting on the way, sharing stories, dreams, and paths, discovering the impact that lasts. The impact that